Shalom, all praises goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors goes into the apostles and the elders from Great Millstone that I've learned this truth from. And much peace and blessings goes out to all the hopeful elect brothers that are teaching the word of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, in truth and sincerity. So this is going to be a narration or a commentary on the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 12, verses 9 through 10. And just giving understanding and sort of a quick video, insightful on weakness, dealing with weakness and being in the lowest state while being in the truth, because this pretty much covers it. So I'm going to read 2 Corinthians 12 and 9. No, let's start from verse 8. Start from verse 7. Unless I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. Okay, so what happened to Paul? He was humbled. He knew a lot. He was a man of the Lord, but yet he suffered affliction in the flesh. It says, for this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it might depart from me. So the apostle Paul prayed. This was such a hindrance to him that he prayed for the Lord to take this ailment away from him. It says, and he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made. So Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai basically rejected his plea, right? But it was for a reason, because it says here, and this is the point, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I glory in my infirmities, that the power of Ha Mashayach may rest upon me. So what is that? Paul didn't get his escape from that affliction or his tribulation because the Lord told him his strength is perfect in weakness. In other words, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai's strength is made manifest when we're in a weak estate. When the Israelite man in the truth is down low, is brought low. So like not in that sense, you know, but I mean in the sense of being afflicted, being reproached, being, you know, in all these different estates that put hell upon us. That's how the Most High strength shows forth, because in those moments, that's when the Spirit flows. That's when the endurance really counts. Okay, because how can you endure when you're not going anything? Not going through anything, I should say. It says, most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Ha Mashayach may rest upon me. So that's the point. What's the power of Mashiach? The understanding of this word, understanding of the Bible in its entirety. So these things can't come upon you unless you go through hell. Okay? I'm going to look up some precepts. Prepare thy mind. Hold on. Hold on, let's get this in this other one. In the book of Sirach, I believe, 2nd chapter. It says, Sirach chapter 2, verse 1, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased in thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. So health issues, you know, family issues, you not being able to see your children like that, your woman leave you, you lose jobs, being in the truth. You got to take it cheerfully. It says, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. I want to look up this word for cheerfully, right? Cheerfully. It says, in a way, the definition for it cheerfully means in a way that displays happiness or optimism. So being optimistic, knowing what's on the other side of the rainbow, so to speak, what's on the other side of the fence. Understanding that you're going through this so you can be a partaker of the kingdom. Yeah, you're weak in the flesh. Yeah, you're going through all this shit, but you should be strong in Ha Mashayach, knowing that he will save, that he will not always have us messed up like this. That takes faith. It says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. So, look, when you're low, that gives Ha Mashayach Yahweh Shai the point to help you. So, because who among the rich, who among the whole, who among people that think they know it all, who among them needs help? None of them do. None of them do. It's those that are sick that need healing. Those that are weak need to be restored. Okay? Because I'm going to get that. And, see if I can. Matthew 9:12. But Ha Mashayach, but when Yahweh Shai heard that, he said unto them, they that be whole need not a physician, but they that are sick. You see? So when you're sick, that's when you're in need. That's when you're in the point of desperation. And that's when you should call upon Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. You got to understand, many of our righteous forefathers and the men of the Lord came before us were in weak positions. Disadvantageous, or how's that word go? Disadvantageous positions, man. Look at Samson. He got victory over his enemies when he was bound up, when he had all his hair cut, but yet he called upon the Lord in that moment, and the Lord allowed him to crush the pillars of that particular building, and it crushed all those goddamn Philistines that were inside it. So that's the power of your Ha Mashayach Yahweh Shai. When you're in the lowest state. What about King David? There are constant psalms of David where he was crying out for affliction. You see what I'm saying? But you got to take these things cheerfully. You got to understand why Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is doing this. Because gold is tried in the fire. So let's go there. Let's read on in 2 Corinthians 12 and chapter 10. It says, therefore I take pleasure in infirmities, just like it says, taking it cheerfully. Apostle Paul said, he pleasures in his infirmities. You know, we all get those moments where we ask the Most High, you know, to change. Because even Paul, he asked the Lord to heal him. So it's not like he necessarily wanted to have that thorn in his flesh, but he understood that's what the Most High brought upon me, so I have to endure it. So he took it with pleasure. So because once you understand that is something that's not going to go away, or nothing that you can really do about it, you just have to take pleasure in the fact that the Most High is building a better you at the end of the day. And sometimes you don't realize what the change the Lord made unto you till months later, till years later. You finally look back at yourself a year or two. For some brothers that's new, or 6 months down the line, you like, I'm way stronger than I was, because you overcame. You build up a callus in your spirit. So let's read it again. Therefore I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distresses for Ha Mashayach's sake. And for just to understand necessities, you know, that's when you're in need of something. That's, you know, you kind of short on your bills, you short on money. Or when you're persecuted, like all these scoffers coming against us, our, you know, family members, personal people we know coming against us. It says, in distresses for Ha Mashayach's sake, for when I am weak, then I am strong. So how much sense does that make, to be weak and yet strong? You know, the simple don't really get that saying, but the thing about it is what? when we're in these weaker states, we know that, or we should know, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai's spirit is working in us, especially when you keep your integrity. When yet you're going through these things, you still do the work. You're still a good brother. You still handle your business. You're still doing what you have to do to make it out, to obtain salvation. You're still constant in prayer and praying for the body, praying for your brothers, man. That shows a great amount of strength. Because here it is, you going through all this, but yet you're relying upon the Lord. Most niggas give up, man. Most niggas are just double weak. Well, I shouldn't say most, but a lot, you know. As far as like dudes that fell out, them niggas, they were double weak. They weren't weak and then strong through the Lord. They just gave in. You know, the Lord stopped dealing with them. So I want to get one more precept. Psalm 116 and verse 1. I'm going to just read through this. And because, I mean, the points make itself in here. And the Spirit hit me to expound, I will. I love the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, because he hath heard my voice and my supplications. So let's look at that word for supplications. Supplications. The action of asking or begging for something earnestly or humbly. See? What are we begging for? Deliverance. Because he hath inclined his ear unto me, therefore will I call upon him as long as I live. The sorrows of death compassed me, and the pains of hell gat hold upon me. I found trouble and sorrow. So David went through it. King David went through it, man. Then I called upon the name of the Lord. O Lord, I beseech thee, deliver my soul. You see? So in those moments, what do? The blueprint is to call upon Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, man. That's it. Gracious is the Lord and righteous. Yea, our God is merciful. The Lord preserveth the simple. And we can be simple a lot of times. I was brought low, and he helped me. Return unto thy rest, O my soul, for the Lord hath dealt bountifully with thee. For thou hast delivered my soul from death, mine eyes from tears, and my feet from falling. I will walk before the Lord in the land of the living. I believed, therefore have I spoken. I was greatly afflicted. I said in my haste, all men are liars. What shall I witness? Because that happens. When you're in affliction, sometimes you speak in haste because your spirit is in haste to ease the affliction. You want to get out of it. That's the flesh. Okay? It says, what shall I render unto the Lord for all his benefits toward me? I would take the cup of salvation and call upon the name of the Lord. I will pay my vows unto the Lord now in the presence of all his people. Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints. O Lord, truly I am thy servant, and the son of thine handmaid. Thou hast loosed my bonds. Okay? So that's what happens, man. That's the sequence of events. It takes suffering and then calling upon the name of the Lord. And then the Lord delivers. He looses your bonds. Okay? Because Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is a merciful God. He's a merciful power. But his power can't be made known while we're in a stronger state. So we're low and we are in need. So therefore the Lord's power is going to be shown. We don't have militaries. We don't have top level intelligence when it comes to, you know, people like the CIA and all that shit. We don't have none of that. All we have is the spirit. We have these scriptures. We have the brotherhood. That's it. Okay, but in all our weakness, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai's strength is shown on spiritual level and in the physical when that deliverance happens. So all praises goes to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakakwadash Shalom.